but you'll be doing it from across the country. But there are schools, there was one school, in fact, in Chicago, not the same school, not the boys' school, but there was a school in Chicago that one year got 15 young people out of that school got Gates Millennium Scholarships. And I'm saying to you, it's not impossible out of the 1,000 that whatever the class size is here.
And Mr. Butler, one of our teachers, Brittany Daniil, is a Gates Millennium Scholar.
How? Give her a clap. Let me say something to you. That's not an easy feat. You need to hear from her one day. She can't have none of my time. But no, if you want to, you can go and say something. But you know what? There are a few folks, and in fact, Philadelphia as a city has wrapped around the city. So we actually are doing, there's a bunch of us that are doing essay workshops on Saturdays and Friday evenings. So if you can't do a Friday evening, you can do a Saturday, and we're working with students on their essay round the clock. Interestingly enough, students fall out of that maze not because of that the essays are hard, but it's the tenacity and stick-to-itiveness of getting through that process, of writing those 8 essays. Now, so what does that mean to me as an 11th grader, a 10th grader, or a 9th grader? Well, what that means, exactly, who said that? Say it out loud, say it real loud.
Start writing them now.
Yes, ma'am. Because guess what? The essays don't change from year to year. They're the same as, you can go online right now and go to the Gates Millennium website and pull up those essays and start practicing. Same essays. So I'm looking at my 9th graders in here and 10th graders in here like, you've been given a real stupid scoop. Keep the 3.3, practice those essays. That's the 3.3 club. That's the 3.3 club. Parents, you got to enforce that. So if they're playing ball here, or they're playing some sport, you know you make sure they get to those after school games, and you make sure they get to all the practices. And if you have that John Chaney coach, which gets them up at 7 o'clock in the morning, or have to be at the location at 7 o'clock in the morning, well, why aren't we doing that with academics? Right? Now, don't get me wrong, my brain don't turn on at 7 o'clock, so I ain't gonna lie. But somehow or another, we have to understand that this is more than just the academic day. That education and learning overall is always going on around the clock. I was talking to some college students the other day, and I was saying, you know what? Well, they're not college students yet, they're getting ready to go. One of the things you're gonna learn when you get to college, come here for a second, come on. So, I wanna ask you a question. Once you got to college, right? I'm assuming that you're at Albright, you're living in a residence hall, yes? Okay, tell them about, you can lie, but tell them about the academic learning at school, particularly after class hours.
After class hours, particularly people just go back to their rooms, or majority stay in the library.
They stay in the library. They get in, well, formally we call it study groups, right? But you get there, when you get in, when you dig in with folks, how many of you saw Stomp the Yard? Right? Okay, it's my favorite movie too, it was on the other night too, right? So, so one of the scenes, of course, is when my man, he wanted to date the young lady, right? So she said, I want to go out. She said, no, I tutor. So he found out his way to go to find out to get to her is get to the tutoring class, right? That's not what you want to do. But the point of the matter is that when he came in, the notion is that he showed that he had game, because when she challenged him and said, well, I'll go to dinner with you if you can cite back what we learned right now in the tutoring session, and she asked him a question, and he played her, he's like, and then she said, okay. Then he said, oh, do you mean, so my point is that while even you're socializing on a college campus, you are learning. It's always about the academics first. So